Hey everybody, how we doing? I hope everyone is just great. Before we even get to the questions from you guys and girls, let's talk about this market right now. It's not liking what it's seeing here. 10-year yield is rising, relative strength of the dollar is higher, MMRI ticking up. Look, I still am going to stick to my guns on here. I believe central banks are going to do more. They're going to buy more. Why? Because that's their goal. What that tells me, at least, we went through this last year, if you recall. At the end of last year, November or whatever it was, we had the same kind of situation here. A lot of problems in the global debt market. We got a sell off here. Then, well, what happened? They started getting here and buying more. Bond yields came down. Market went up through the entire month of January. Can you guys hear me okay? Just real quick. I hope you guys can hear me all right. Anyway, so that's really thanks, what I believe is going to happen here. Now, again, consider the fact that it's a possibility. It is a possibility. I could be wrong. If you remember, just yesterday, we got a warning from Bank of America talking about this crazy disconnect. And actually, they said massive disconnect in the markets, in the stock market. Okay, duh. Now we got another one, which I'll talk more about later. Bank of America is saying there's going to be a day of reckoning. Absolutely. And then we got Rickards calling for a crash. We got Burry calling for a crash, although Burry said it was going to happen right now. Rickards is like, middle of the year. I don't know how he's figuring that thing out. Maybe I have no idea. But that's the situation with that. So right now, again, this market is not liking the current situation with regard to the rising 10-year yield, the relative strength of the dollar. Crude oils get higher. As a matter of fact, commodities, except for gold and silver, are getting a bit higher. Natural gas right now is up like 3.45%. Very volatile lately with natural gas. But natural gas, crude oil, energy producers are going to be the places that we want to be. There's a lot of commodity based exchange traded funds. I put out several newsletters with exchange traded funds in them, which you might want to look at. In the description of this, you'll see a link to my newsletter. I hope all of you here do subscribe to my newsletter. A lot of cool stuff that goes out in there all the time. So that's where we stand right now. It is what it is here, and it's just not going to stop until it does. And this rising of the MMRI, I mean, it's a clue. I think it's a fantastic tool. Risk is very high. We know where the red line in the sand is. Last time I looked at the MMRI, it was 238. Okay, 250 is the first line in the sand in my view, and what we've seen with regard to the action in this freaking market. Anyway, people, that's where we're at right now. So with that said, let's talk. What do you guys? What's been on your minds? Because I want to get inside your head, and I want to put this thing together. Pump oil. I'm not even sure what that means. Eminem, absolutely, Eminem. Look, what is it all about? It's about doing good. Find one thing a week, maybe, that you could do to benefit all mankind. I think we'd be better off, people. Yes, we are the freaking resistance, people. Look, how are we the resistance? Because we're raising awareness. Raising awareness or knowledge is power. Why do you think they try to dumb down the masses? Because they know they want a population that is as stupid and dumbed down as they can possibly get. Thanks, Mitch. And that's the truth. So, what else would you expect? Keep people distracted, keep them too busy doing this, that, and the other thing, just trying to make ends meet to function. Look, we all have this God-given gift of intellect, and we all pretty much have a brain that works, but they've just freaking dumbed people down to such a degree. It's just out of control. And I really think that's part of the grand plan too. Keep people stupid, keep them suffering, keep them unable to, think. God forbid, think outside the box a little bit. They got to stuff you inside some kind of box, control the way you think. There's no free thought, no free action. You're not allowed to do anything anymore. Your life is dictated to you. Thank you, Eric. It's and no free movement. It's insane. So does the silver gold ratio still apply if silver no longer uses the currency? Of course. Absolutely. I mean, look at the Dow gold ratio, gold silver ratio. I mean, that's really the basis for my thesis. Hey, that rhymes. As to why I believe silver is the most undervalued asset in the world. So what are we going to do about it? I mean, look, always do your own research into this, okay? But you should think about why or why not you would want to hold physical silver, gold, platinum, palladium, commodities. Look, this whole thing, this environment, it's a fantasy land. Nothing is real here. There's no price discovery mechanism behind anything because you got central banks buying it all, keeping rates suppressed, even right now. Imagine if we had a real market that was able to dictate price, even for debt. There's no reality here. When you have central banks in here buying all the debt, and this is all they're doing here, buying more debt, issuing debt, buying it back, issuing it, buying it back, or issuing more debt to fund wars and vaxes and everything freaking else you want to think about. How could a damn thing in this market be real? The debt market is supposed to be stable constantly. It's supposed to be the backbone of the entire financial system. Why? Because it's debt-based. You all know that. We do not have a wealth-based system. It's 100% debt-based. Understanding that should really make it clear to you what you're doing, why you're doing it, why you're in the position you're at, and why you think the way that you do. Anyway, it's all an illusion. None of this is real, but it's going to get real right now. I mean, the market, look, we're getting warnings from this and warnings from that and big banks and blah, the big banks, they got to cover their own rear ends here. Because when this all comes down, and it will, and I don't know when, none of us do, okay? Rickers isn't smart enough to know. Burry isn't smart enough to know. We just have to, read the tea leaves a little bit and look at the MMRI, watch the relative strength of the dollar, watch the global bond market, and that's it. That's really all we do. Anyway, late today? No, I was on time. I'm always on time here. At least I try to click that go live button at 10. So anyway, that's where we stand with that whole thing, people. And absolutely, Paul, you're 100% right. This is absolutely rigged against us. And knowing that gives us power. If we understand the system, we know how it works, we watch the flow of cash through the markets, or debt, should I say, it gives us enormous power so we can understand what we need to do. I think it's pretty simple, honestly. How about Planet Janet? Yeah, we should put Yellen on it. She's in her own world anyway. That thing, whatever it is. Think Mad Max. Mad Max is where we're going, and in a big way. When this whole thing comes down, I think it's pretty obvious. What are they doing? What's going on right now is the most insane set of dynamics I've ever even heard of in my entire life. You got central banks killing the economy by crushing the consumer. You know all about this. At the same time, we have inflation out of control, people continuing to borrow just to make ends meet. Look, this is exactly what you and I would have expected to see in this twisted environment. Anyway, it's absolutely insane, really. Anyway, I want to know when did we lose control? When people stopped wanting to be involved. Okay, what people do is they want to rely on someone else to take care of their own business. So we elect, sure we do, representatives here that are supposed to represent all of us. They don't represent nobody. We have no representation anymore. And when we allowed the central banks to establish the fiat monetary system, thanks, Eric, and the petrodollar, that's it. It's just over at that point. Anyway, absolutely insane, completely crazy. And unfortunately, that's where we're at. And there's not enough of us out here. There's not enough of us. Raiden, thank you. I appreciate that. Anyway, yeah, the 10-year yield, just keep your eyes on that, people. If you don't want to watch the MMRI, that's fine. I get it. Watch the 10-year yield, watch the relative dollar strength, and you're really going to have a good idea as to what's going to happen here. We have the most inverted yield curve we haven't seen anything like this in like 50 years, 40, 50 years. That's a big sign, but it's being ignored, I think, for the most part. It's a huge tell that things are just going down the tubes pretty fast. And anyway, we got this, you and me, people. The MMRI is at 240. Is that true? I got to see that for myself. Give me 1 second. I want to see this for myself. Taking a while to load. Yes, it is. Holy moly. That is not good. All right, people. Well, points away from that first red line in the sand. And it's going to be interesting to see what happens. If we hit 250 with regard to the MMRI, this market is not going to react very well. I can promise you that. So just keep your eyes on that MMRI link down below. I'm glad you guys and girls are keeping an eye on that. Yeah, it's just about 240. Look, take advantage of these trading systems I got out here. I had two I put out in my free newsletter, and kind of interesting. Anyway, hold on to your shorts, everyone. Exactly. Yeah. I know the sane ones are now the crazy ones. Exactly. It's so freaking out of control. Oh no. I'm not even going to say the G word. Okay. Because if I say the G word, you know what I'm talking about? Loretta, I'm going to have to, the girl. I'm telling you, I must have what is that? Tourette syndrome? I don't know what it is. You have to do, whenever I think about it, if I don't do that, I think I'll like explode inside or something. Anyway, that's where we're at, people. That's Loretta. No, we're not racing this weekend. Can you believe that? They got junior dragsters out here. So, and that's all they're racing is junior. I love junior dragsters. I think it's the cutest thing, watching these little kids racing. But no, unfortunately, no racing for me. And I need my fix here. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, all right. The ghoul face. Yeah. I think that's it. What else? You guys got one or two more questions you want me to cover here real quick? PDBC. It's definitely a place you want to be. There's a lot of ETFs that track commodities. That one pays a nice dividend as well. Again, let them freaking pay us to own a stock or an ETF. I don't want to just hold. I would not buy. Let me just say this. I would not own any company or any exchange traded fund that's not paying me to own it. I want to be paid to own it to mitigate some of the risk. You understand? It should make sense to you. I think we got this covered pretty much. Super Bowl, I'm probably going to be at, I belong to a car club called the Pharaohs. So yes, I am a Pharaoh, and I'll probably be over there with those guys over there. Anyway, that's it, people. Look, this guy here loves you a lot. I mean that from the heart. I'm so happy you're all here with me. I hope we're getting through all of this, and we're going to get it through it together, no matter what we do, no matter what. Anyway, Lex Luthor. Oh, that guy, I can't take him. I can't take Lex Luthor. Rat Dog? Who's Rat Dog? You mean Coco? Coco is not around. That little boy. Anyway, people, I will see all of you at the end of the day. We'll cover a bunch more stuff over there. Thanks for being here. I appreciate all of you with all my heart. I mean that. So I'll see you later. Okay.